My name is Jason JROCK Houston. You're listening to Chaotic Riffs Magazine. We can be found on the web at www.chaoticriffs.com. Our special guest tonight is Kiss Alive drummer Jason Lee Beckwith, who's a longtime friend of the show. I've interviewed him several times. Welcome once again, Jason. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, Jason. How are you?
I'm great. Now,
I love saying that, dude. That never gets old.
Yeah, the two Jasons. I love that. Anyways, Jason has agreed to talk with us because the last interview you did with us was for our Destroyer 40 special, where we talked about 40th anniversary of Kiss's landmark 1976 album, Destroyer.
Oh, I love that album.
Yeah.
Honestly, to me, that's their Sgt. Pepper. When you look at it from back to front, I mean, it's not just an album, it's a sonic landscape. It's, from the kids' voices in God of Thunder to, Detroit Rock City plays more like a video soundtrack, with the accident and the news report.
Oh, yeah.
I honestly think that is their Sgt. Pepper.
I totally agree, my friend.
I digress. Go ahead.
I totally agree, my friend. And, just to touch a little more on that Destroyer album, I think what made that album really take it to the next level was the presence of Bob Ezrin. Let's not just not only did he produce that album, but he had a big impact on that album.
Mr. Cooper, he's Mr. Alice Cooper.
And he's still working with the Coop all these years later. But
awesome.
Bob Ezrin himself is a great musician, songwriter. But also we'd be talking with.
Do you know if he produced? Because I know that in recent recordings and stuff that there's been a reunion of the surviving members of the original Alice Cooper band, and I think on Alice's new album, I think that there's some songs with those guys on the recording, and I'm wondering if that's Ezrin producing them too, because that just sounds like a natural fit right there.
It does, and I can get you more information on that. I can email you later, but because I have a new Alice Cooper album, it really is a great album. It kind of reminds me of kind of a combination of the early Ezrin stuff with Alice and maybe like a modern day Trash. And you're right.
It's kind of that grand sound again,
Yeah. And I must tell you, in regards, he reunites with the original band members. I think on 2 new studio tracks, and then some original guys like Michael Bruce and Neil Smith appear throughout the album, so that's really nice. But now, so I also I gave Jason the choice tonight while we're going to be doing a new interview with him. 2017 also marks the 40th anniversary of both Love Gun and Kiss Alive 2, and Jason told me that he'd prefer to talk about Kiss Alive too, so we're going to do that tonight. But before we get into that, I got to ask you, my friend, I know you recently suffered a heart attack again. So how you doing?
Yeah.
How long ago was that? Was that like during the summer, just a couple months ago, or?
Well, that's an interesting story. Yeah, that was on August 4th, which is my birthday.
Wow.
In the middle of a show at a place called Campland on the Bay in Mission Bay when it started happening.
Now let me know, because I like to know, because I know you'd suffered a previous heart attack. So when you started getting the pain, did you know right away that?
To be honest with you, I didn't, because my focus is really just on the show, right? So when I started getting winded, I thought, honestly, I'm out of breath, man. I need to work out a little bit more or something. I can't believe I'm not even halfway through the show and I'm getting winded, and wow, what a drag, So I'm going to start playing more conservative. So I started playing like what's that guy's name? Max Weinberg from the E Street Band that used to be on Conan O'Brien's late night show or whatever, right?
Yeah.
The guy is an amazing, phenomenal drummer, but he's not the loosest cat in terms of posture, let's say. He's he's got great, perfect posture, but it seems like the guy never bends. And it tires me looking at him. He's a great, phenomenal drummer.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not bagging on the guy at all. And he plays with Bruce Springsteen. He's amazing.
There you go, yeah.
But, and he's a great drummer. He can play anything. He's phenomenal, but he's just so upright. I mean, the guy has perfect posture. I'm like completely jealous, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So I started playing real conservative, and thinking that would help. And for a second, it seemed like it did. But, I'm 2 or 3 songs later, and it's still not going away. And then it kind of hits me, about 10, 15 minutes into this whole part of the circus that, oh, no, not again,
Yeah.
So it took me about 15, 20 minutes to really figure out what was going on. I was literally thinking I was just winded, and I started looking at the set and going, man, I'm just out of gas tonight. So must be not feeling right, or maybe I didn't eat right today. You know, if you don't eat right, and you know, the day of a gig, they can go sideways on you real quick. You know?
And
I'm looking at the set list, going, man, that's a lot of songs.
While this is going on,
then it just it just never and it finally hit me what was going on, and at that point I start trying to figure out an exit plan.
So let me ask you, while this is all going on, is your bandmates that are also up on stage at the time performing, they have any clue what's going on? They kind of look at you like, hey man.
Because there's I started calling audible plays to try and mitigate the circumstances. Let's say like when we got up to God of Thunder, and I saw that one. Like, it was 2 or 3 songs before that when I really started being uncomfortable. And, obviously I should have got off stage as soon as I realized what was going on. But,
like you said,
thinking straight at that point, literally, because, A, you got a show going, and there's the adrenaline from that and the focus of that. And then, the lack of proper, like, oxygen and blood to, the thinking parts of your brain, so you don't think straight. And so I'm just trying to figure out, how can I'm not sure what to do here. So I see God of Thunder creeping up, and I know that, just like Kiss Alive 2, there's a segue for you, that after God of Thunder, we do my drum solo. So, and I saw that coming up, and I'm like, oh, there's no way. So at that point, I look over to Vinny J, my star child, our star child, and I look at him, and I motion to him, and the little... where you do that chopping thing under your chin, and you tell them you're not going to do something, you're going to cut something, right? And I go, dude, we're cutting, no solo. And he looks at what? No solo. We're in the middle of the show, and there's like hundreds of people out there. I've never seen literally so many people at this grassy knoll area where we're playing at this campground. Amazing place. Love those guys. So I look at him, no solo. All right, wow. Kind of like, the drummer don't want to do a solo,
Yeah.
And I'm not really a big fan of doing drum solos anyways, but I do them because it's part of the show. You know what I mean? If I had my choice, I probably wouldn't. But people come to expect that there's certain things, like, the flaming guitar thing or Gene spitting blood or whatever, right? So, and he looks at me kind of like, huh? With that German Shepherd face on. And I point to my chest with my drumstick, and I said, ow! And he said, what? Ow! And then you could see the light bulb go on in his face, and a little, like worried. And so he's kind of kept sort of near my drum set, for the rest of that, and we kept on kind of chugging, and I'm trying to, like I said, play real conservative, and then it just keeps getting worse, and at that point I'm like, there's just no way I can't make it to the end of the show. So we had like 2 songs to the end of the show, and then just from here on out, it gets so surreal. First of all, you gotta understand what it looks like from where I'm sitting. Okay, I'm looking out. This concert venue is a nice big stage at a campground called Campland on the Bay. It's in Mission Bay. It's right across the water from SeaWorld in San Diego.
Wow.
So it's a great setting. Like every night as the sun goes down, if you look in the right direction, you can see the fireworks that go off nightly at SeaWorld, And that's how that campground, and there's people that have lived in that campground their whole life. They call them Campland Raised,
Okay.
And it's just an amazing place, and to be honest with you, it's kind of sad because as a side note, the city, I guess somebody found a bird somewhere or something, and the city wants to take a bunch of the land away and not lease it to the campground anymore.
Wow.
A lot of these places where people grew up, it's just gonna, but I digress. Anyways, I'm sitting there on this stage. You can see the water, the bay, the lights over the San Diego, the over Mission Bay. And then there's hundreds of people in front of me, and in the background are all these rented bicycles, and they have these neon lights on all the wheels and the handlebars and some of the piping on the bicycles. So it looks like some kind of Disneyland electric parade in the background. I felt like it was like a Fellini movie meets like Disneyland electric light parade, And I'm in the middle of all this, like, people just have glow sticks and they're bouncing and going crazy, and I'm sitting there going, man, am I going to check out in front of all this? I mean, so I started thinking, I gotta get off stage at this point, right? And we got like 2 or 3 songs left. We got our encore, which is Rock and Roll All Night, and then after that we were going to do Black Diamond. Okay, and we get to that one, and all of a sudden I hear house music, and And in my confused state of mind, I'm thinking, well, maybe we hit the curfew, because they have like a curfew of like 10-ish, I think, if they want to behave. And right now they're on a short leash with the city, so they want to behave, Oh, great, that would be awesome. There's house music. Well, when house music comes on, just like at the Grammys, it don't matter if you're Frank Sinatra, which was a crime playing him off, by the way, but if they play you off, you got to get off stage. And I thought, great. At first I'm like, are you really playing us off stage? And then the other side of me said, dude, that's your exit. Do you have 2 more songs in you? And I thought, no, I don't. I guarantee you, Jay, I would not have made those last 2 songs.
Wow.
I get up from the drums. I start running off stage as best I could. I lean up and I tell Phil Varela, my new bass player, by the way, I tell him, dude, I lean up in his ear, tell him, no more songs. I can't finish. I can't play anymore. There's something wrong. And I go and make a beeline for the dressing room. I sit down on the floor, I close the door behind me, and then my circus starts. What I didn't know that was going on was this. Okay, the guy that was the overseer of campground, a good friend of mine named Kenny Johnson from Oklahoma. He was living there for many years, and he took care of the shows and all that. Him and I became really good friends. He had a place that he lived at on site, and every single square inch of his wall was covered in vinyl record albums.
Wow.
And his bathroom was all Kiss. That was the one room in the house. Like, every square inch was all vinyl records. Stuff you never even seen, bro. I guarantee you there's like 12-inch singles from like Japan or Holland or whatever. Even the towels and the bath curtain, the shower curtain or whatever, everything was all Kiss. This guy was awesome. He went to the sound guy when he knew that Rock and Roll All Night was our next song up, and he goes, play some house music so they think the show's over or whatever, so they can't play. I got something in mind. I got a surprise plan. So they start playing the house music, and as I'm off doing my thing, he goes up on stage to a microphone. He goes, hey, I just want to tell you guys that tonight's my last night here at Campline. I got a new business I'm starting, and I'm going to be taking off, and I've been here for years, and I love all you guys, and I just want to say thank you to the drummer of this band, because we used to have like polka bands here and stuff, and now we got rock and roll bands like this right here, and they were a big part of turning that around, and I just want to say thank you. And turns out today is his birthday, and so as you can see here, I got this cake, and put a spotlight on the drummer. Let's all sing him happy birthday, guys.
Wow.
And he turns around, they put a spotlight on the drum set, and I'm gone.
Wow, how amazing.
So he goes, oh, I think he's just shy. He probably thought I was going off to take a break or something. He goes, oh, I think he's just shy. Come on, guys, let's go find him. I think he went to his dressing room. So he goes and knocks on the dressing room with like a couple hundred people behind him, and what? Where is he? What's going on? Yeah. And that's how that started.
Wow, amazing. And kind of the cool thing, though, is it amazing that you could be going through all that, and nobody in the audience or in the venue has any idea that, you're going through this ordeal until after the fact. I mean, that's kind of amazing.
Well, unfortunately, my mom and dad and my sister were in the audience, and actually it turned out that the gal that my sister was hanging out with that night had some nitroglycerin pills on her.
Oh, thank God.
Because when they made the their doctor in the house, somebody shows up with some nitro and pops one in my hand and says, do you want that? And I'm like, yeah, I need that. And that kind of probably saved me until the ambulance arrived at the campground, to be perfectly honest with you.
And so what was the time from the time you started getting your chest pains till the ambulance arrived about?
Well, I'll tell you what, once the word got out that, to call the ambulance, they were there within 5 minutes of the phone call, dude.
Wow.
I mean, they don't play, dude. They were there. Like, it probably was about 20 minutes from the time I started having problems, maybe about a half hour, to be honest with you. But once they made the call, it was like 5 minutes, dude. Those guys were so on it. They got in there, no problem. Got them through the gate, no problem. And so I'm in the dressing room on the floor, and my mom and dad were there, and that was kind of a drag for them.
Of course, yeah.
As I'm running off stage, my mom, thinking the show was over, went to the side of the stage to congratulate me on a good show, and I just leaned up and I go, come with me to the dressing room, Mom, something's wrong. And she didn't want to go because my dad was in the audience, didn't want to leave him alone because he just got done with cancer treatment.
Oh, wow.
So he don't need to be sitting by himself, right? She goes and gets my sister. And it's kind of a bummer anyways, because, you know, my sister passed away at one time, and, you know, this is all, you know, touchy stuff with my family, and so it bummed me out that my mom and dad had to be there and worry.
Yeah.
But anyways, my sister comes in, and the first thing I did was I look at my guitar player, and I said, Vinny, get her my wipes. I look at my sister, I said, get this crap off my face. I'm not going into an emergency room with that stuff on my face.
Yeah. Wow. And so how long did it take to get that off, that makeup?
Oh, very quickly. You know, while we were waiting for the ambulance to arrive. By the time the paramedics got there, I was already off. I still have my monkey suit on, but at least my face was clean somewhat. So they start working on me, and he goes, I got the gurney just outside, man. Do you want me do you want us to carry it? Because we can't get it in. It's too tight in the doorway. So can you? I said, no, it's only a couple of steps. I can walk to the gurney. So I get up. They're helping me up. I walk to the gurney. Oh, man, I tell you what, dude. I open the door, and all those people that were still standing outside the door, they saw me standing up and walking to the gurney on my own 2 feet, and they started cheering for me, man.
Wow. And
somebody in the back, dude, he's walking. And so I get on the gurney, and they're all like, we love you, you know, and I get into the ambulance and stuff, and they're all like, every one of them followed the ambulance to the gates of the campground and shouting, like, good luck and shouting love at me before I left, man. I never felt so much love, like, just poured out and heaped out on me, man. I told you know, and here's the thing, though. See, because what a lot of people don't know is in my off time on Sundays, I volunteer teach Sunday school.
Oh, wow.
For little elementary school age kids from grades 1 to grades 5.
Oh, that's great, man.
I've been doing it for a few years now. I don't make a big deal out of it because, you know, it's between me and God. It ain't between me and anyone else. For public consumption. You know what I'm saying? I do what I do because I want to do it. I don't do it because I want, you know, the only time I ever talk about it is when I try and encourage other people to help out. You know,
hear you.
Other than that, I keep it to myself. But I say that to say this. I was, you know, I'm sorry. Can we stop the interview for just a second?